Welcome back, YouTubers. So last week I did strawberry jalapeno jam. And in the video, I had shown you guys my garden and you bared with me while I picked a few other veggies to use in some other videos. Well, that is today. Today is one of those other videos. I had picked some basket of fire peppers. I had also picked hot burrito peppers. And I'm going to show you guys how to take these peppers and turn them into an incredibly hot sauce. So let's get to it because it's going to take a little while and turn these peppers into hot sauce. All right, so first of all, I have some heavy-duty gloves on to cut up all my peppers. This recipe, it's kind of a mix and match. So you don't have to use the same peppers I'm using. You can use whatever peppers you want, make it as hot as you want or as mild as you want. So I am using hot burrito peppers. They are pretty big and they are also very hot. So I'm going to cut 2 of them up with the seeds in them. And then I'm going to do 3 without the seeds. So it works out to be 1 cup of these hot burrito peppers. Then all of these little basket of fire peppers, I am just going to use my kitchen shears and I'm going to cut them up into little pieces, the whole pepper, and just put them in a measuring cup. And it's going to work out to be about 2.5 cups of peppers. Now, if you do not want really hot, spicy hot sauce, I would suggest taking probably the seeds out of 90% of the peppers you're using and only use 10% with seeds. I would even do less because the seeds are going to make it ridiculously hot. So choose wisely when doing this. Use whatever peppers you want. And remember, the more seeds you put in them, the hotter it's going to get. All right, so I have 7 cloves of garlic. I'm just going to smash them with my knife, give them a rough chop, and put those in the pot with the peppers. I'm also going to chop up about a small to medium-sized onion. Doesn't have to be small pieces, just chop it up, and again, put that in your pot too. Next, I'm going to give everything a quick mix in my pot. Then I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt, about a 1/4 cup of honey. I'm also going to add 1.5 cups of apple cider vinegar and a 1/2 cup of water. I'm going to mix that all together. Then I'm going to go put this on my stove and I'm going to bring it all to a simmer, to a boil. And I'm going to let it boil until all the peppers and the onions are soft. All right, so now I'm going to take that boiling pot of hot peppers and I am going to very carefully pour it into my blender. Be very careful that it doesn't splash and get on you because it is very, very hot and will burn you. All right, once I put it all in the blender, I am going to put the lid on it, but I'm going to take that little middle piece out of the lid so that it vents it and allows the hot air to escape because as I am blending it, I don't want the pressure and all the heat and the steam to build up and pop the lid off and make a gigantic mess. So this way allows it to vent without building pressure. And I just use a towel over top so it doesn't splatter anywhere. And you're going to blend it however you want to blend it. So I usually start on like a chop and then I go to like a liquefy puree kind of thing and progress through it until it is all blended. Yeah, just blend it until it's smooth. So my sauce is still a little too thick. So while it's blending, I'm going to add just a little bit more apple cider vinegar. You could also add some water, some apple juice, whatever you'd like. Add a little bit more liquid to it to help thin it out. And then give it another few minutes blending. All right, so once it's all blended, then you're just going to put it through a fine mesh sieve. You could also use some cheesecloth and you're going to strain it. And all you're doing is taking out any of the seeds that are still in there. You're going to remove any big chunks, just strain it all. If you have a use for the paste part of this, by all means, keep it and use it. I do not, so I will just be putting mine in our compost. There's quite a bit of paste left over, so do what you want with it, but I am gonna just strain all of mine and make my sauce smooth. All right, so this part is kind of a decide as you go kind of feel to it. I put my sauce in another pot. I've turned it on. I'm letting it come to a simmer. But while I'm doing that, I am going to add some more things to it. So I'm going to add some sugar to it, which is going to equal out to about a half a cup that I add. I'm also adding 1 cup of apple juice, 1 cup of water, roughly 3/4 of a cup to 1 cup of apple cider vinegar. And I'm just going to add it slowly as it's cooking. So I let it cook down a little bit, add some more, let it cook down, add some more. And I just keep doing this. It's probably going to take a good half hour, maybe a little bit more. And I just check the consistency. Check it with a spoon, see what you think. If it's a consistency you like and a taste that you like, then you don't have to add any more. But if it's not, keep going. Keep adding just a little bit at a time. So that's all I did. The measurements are an estimate. I did find I had to add a little more water to keep it kind of thin because I let it cook down. I really wanted the flavors to meld together with the apple juice, the sugar, the honey, the peppers. So I let it cook down, and then I used water and apple juice to add more liquid to thin it all out. So that's what you see through this part of the video is I just keep adding little bits of all of that at a time. This is me adding the rest of the sugar. I got tired of adding little bits at a time, but I only added a half a cup of sugar into it. So now I'm just going to let it simmer for a little bit. I think it's at a consistency that I really like. So yeah, I'm just going to let this simmer for a few minutes before I am ready to put it in bottles. So I decided that I wanted to use actual hot sauce bottles for this instead of just putting it in mason jars. So I went and bought some hot sauce bottles. I processed them the exact same way I would with my mason jars. The only difference is when I go to fill these, of course, I'm going to still leave like about a quarter headspace on top, but they don't seal. So they have that little plastic top that you see on hot sauce bottles that only allows a little bit out of the bottle at a time. And then they have a little screw-on lid. It doesn't seal. So these are going to have to go into the fridge and they'll probably last quite a while. There is a lot of vinegar in this. So I'm sure it'll be just fine, but you don't have to do it this way. If you put it in mason jars and the bottles actually seal, I'm guessing they will be shelf stable, but I honestly don't know because I have never done this before. So I am just kind of flying by the seat of my pants on this and learning as I go. But I am just going to bottle a couple of these since it didn't make a whole lot of sauce. All right. So after spending all that time making the hot sauce, cooking it down, watering it down, doing everything I could to cut through the spice, it is absolutely incredibly spicy. The last hot sauce I made was with my brother and they were fun. They weren't too spicy. Yes, they were still hot. This one was completely different. And oh my God, it is incredibly hot. I am not even going to sample it for you guys. I got a tiny little bit on my finger while I was filling the bottles and I licked it. Nope. I am never doing that ever again. I have no idea what I'm going to do with these hot sauces because they are just incredibly hot. I don't know who's going to eat them. I'm going to find somebody who can give them away. So, after watering it down and cooking it down and watering it down some more, I only ended up with 3.5 bottles of hot sauce. I had ordered a box of 12 of them. And I ended up only using 3.5, or making 3.5 bottles. So 4 bottles is what I used. I have them for something else now. But overall, I'm glad I did something with these peppers because they were beautiful hanging baskets, and I was looking forward to trying to make hot sauce with them, but it is incredibly hot. So that's a little disappointing that I can't really eat it. Maybe mixing it into some soup or something. Who knows? Somebody will come up with a great idea of how to incorporate this into a meal without burning my mouth off. So, all right, that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys like this hot sauce one. Thank you for joining me. Remember to hit the like, subscribe, notification bell, all that wonderful stuff. And I will see you for next week's video, another harvest related video. Not sure what yet, but yeah, I will see you guys all next week. Thanks for watching today.